Welcome to my alternative strategy for using division to determine a tip percentage. This can be used at the grade 6 level, and it is a great way to show how much tip could be on a total bill. So the first question we're going to deal with is 20% of $20. So when we're dealing with 20%, we immediately know that we're dealing with 1/5 out of 100, which is always important when we're dealing with percent because it is out of a total number of 100. So when we're dealing with this number, the first thing we'd want to do if we didn't know it was 1/5 out of 100 is we'd want to figure that out. So the way we'd figure that out is we would take 100 and then we would divide that by the number of percentage, which is 20, which would then give us a number of 5. So we now know that 20% would be 1/5 out of 100. What we would then do next is we would then want to figure out what our percentage of that tip would be. So we would take our $20 and we would then divide that by that new number that we figured out, which was 5, which would then tell us our tip amount, which would be $5. And we know that because 1/5 out of 100 is 20%, and 20% or 1/5 of $20 equals $5. So the next question we're going to move on to is a little bit more complicated because it adds a decimal. It's 12.5% of $88. So the first thing we'd want to do, similar to the last question, is we'd want to figure out what number we're dealing with. So we take 100 and we divide it by 12.5. That is going to give us the number of 8. When we know that we're now dealing with 12.5 out of 100, so 12.5% out of 100 is 1/8. So we now know that we're going to take our total amount, which was $88, and we're going to take that and we're going to divide that by 8. And when we do that, it's going to give us the number of 11, which we now know is our tip, right? Because we've divided our total number by our fraction, which is 1/8 of which is 12.5% of 100. The way we can determine to see if we are correct is we would then take $88 and we would minus 12.5%, which would then give us a total of $77. And then if we take that $77 and we add our $11, we would then get our original amount of $88, proving that our calculations were correct. Now, the main strategy here is always determining what the fraction of the percentage out of 100 is. So it is always important to break that down. The last example I'm going to provide here is when we're looking at 100 divided by 25 or 25%, we know that 25% is a quarter. So 100 divided by 25, when we punch that into a calculator or use our mental math, we know it is a 4, or we're dealing with 1/4. Right? 25% of 100 would be 1/4. And that is what we're going to use to multiply our original number. So if we take $20, say our bill was $20, and we wanted to figure out what 25% of that would be, we would divide $20 by 4. And when we do that, what do we determine? We determine that our percentage of 25% would be $5. And that is because we know that 20 can be divided by 4 5 times. So 1/4 of $20 would be $5. Thank you very much for coming to my alternative strategy. I hope you learned something and you can use this possibly in one of your future classrooms. Have a great day.